I don't really have a clear plan for my life right now. What not a lot of people realize about me is that I am going after my dreams and my goals right now. And it's something that I've gave up pretty much everything. I've gave up vacations, I don't really want to get into depth, but I've gave up a lot of things. And I'm not going to lie, it can be quite stressful. I would be lying if I said it was easy. It's not. And if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you would know that I've mentioned this a few times on how it isn't easy. And I get self-doubt quite a lot. I talk about it as if it's my best friend, which in a way it might have to be just because I've got to get used to it. But I do get self-doubt quite a lot. I do ask myself and I question myself a lot. Scott, have you risked it all for nothing? Why are you doing this for? It doesn't seem like things are moving right now. And I feel like it's that thing with trust for me. I think it's just about trusting everything that I'm doing, trusting myself. It's as if I know what I want to do, but I just don't have a roadmap on how to get there. And I'm sure that's the same for everyone that is doing what I'm doing. Whether they've risked what feels like everything or whether they've only risked a couple of things. That feeling of the unknown and that feeling of scarcity is very real, no matter what position that we are at. And I would say I have gave up pretty much everything to be where I am right now. And sure, many people can say, well, Scott, you're not at this place yet, or Scott, you've gave up all of this for this. Like, this doesn't seem like much. And what I would say to that is that I believe in myself that much that I know it will work. I don't know how I'm going to get there. As I said, I don't have a clear roadmap on how I'm going to do it, but I have a vision, I have a goal, and I have a destiny to fulfill, and I'm going to do it. And that's quite ambitious, but I'm going to try and do it. But the reason why I'm making this video even is because for people that might be in a similar position that I'm in, I'm sure they know it themselves, and I hope this video can give them a bit of comfort to make them realise that they're not the only ones in this journey. And that there is also people like myself that is what feels like they've gave up everything. They're going after their goals. They might not see that progress yet, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any progress. And I've talked about that in many videos. And with the mental battles, with the self-doubt, this has been something that I've been dealing with for quite a while now. As some of you may know, I've been creating videos now for coming up to 2 years. I don't even think it's been a year and a half now, but it's going to be 2 years this year. And I'm sure my younger self would be very proud. The fact that I'm sticking to something for that long and hopefully will continue to do so and continue to prove myself wrong and prove myself right at the same time. Doing things that I never imagined I would be able to do. Even though it might not seem like I'm going anywhere, I still feel like I'm leveling up. And it's as if I know that I'm leveling up as well, just because I see it within my day-to-day life. The way I'm thinking, the way I'm doing things. Even when I'm comparing myself, although it's not a great thing to compare ourselves, but, well, for me it isn't. I don't want to speak for everyone, but for me it isn't. But when I do justify comparing myself, I do it in a way on where I compare myself in the past or from the past. So I compare myself on where I am now to where I used to be. And that right there is enough for me. Even understanding my why is enough for me to continue on this journey. Even if it might not translate to anything that I would like it to translate to in the future. And I don't mean like your monetary stuff. I don't mean I forgot the other word. I don't mean that either. I don't mean your materialistic stuff, but just, I feel like for me, and I again, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel like some people might struggle with this, and I've struggled with this as well, and I'm continuing to as well. But it's about, again, it's just about trusting yourself on a journey that looks like there is no progress happening. For me, the only thing in the world that could make me happy right now, and to be honest, I've thought about this quite a lot, but I think it's important that I say this. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm happy. If I'm doing those two things, and if everyone around me is happy and healthy as well, then I'm already successful. And I try to think like that quite a lot. But if there's one extra thing or other thing that could make me happy, it would be just getting that ball moving and seeing that progress. And I think that is the hardest part with a lot of people that are doing the thing that I'm doing. Maybe they've gave up a lot of things, or maybe they've just gave up a couple of things. And it's still a big deal. It's still a big deal. And they might not see that progress. And then they might think that maybe they think that it's not really going to work out. And it's as if I've been getting like little hints on the fact that it is working out, and even just telling myself that it's working out and trying to see the positives within the negatives, which can be hard. It's not easy. It's really not easy. For me, it isn't. But I feel like for me, it's just trying to just change the way I'm thinking right now, just because I've became more aware of the situation that I'm in. So that's why I feel like I've got all these self-doubt, all of these negative thoughts just coming at me all at once sometimes. Also, sometimes it feels like for me, it feels like I'm moving. It's as if I'm moving, but I don't know where I'm moving to. Am I moving to the right direction? And it's that uncertainty, it's the unknown that I feel like has gave me the self-doubt as well, and that has gave me all of these worries and concerns. And I think to myself, is this actually going to work out? And I feel like for me, what I'm starting to understand is that as long as I'm moving, whether I'm moving in the right direction or the wrong direction on terms of getting the ball moving, then I'm already winning anyways. Because the reason why I say this is, as I've said in many videos, understanding that there's both valuable pieces of information within the two, within the wins and also within the failures. So as long as I'm moving, even if I make a mistake during the process, then I know what works and I know what doesn't work. So for me, what it's like to build a life with no clear roadmap, as I've said, it is challenging. For me, it is. It's quite challenging. And sometimes I think to myself, am I wasting my time? Am I just doing this all for nothing? And quickly the back of my mind and even the front of my mind, I don't really know what I would say to that. But straight away, it's as if I counter argue that and go, well, it is going to work out. Whether it is coming from the back of my mind or the front of my mind. When I do get those thoughts, I got to admit, I do think to myself, well, it is going to work out. It's as if I can see myself achieving this thing. And I think for me, that's the only thing that matters, is having that ability to know that it's going to work out no matter how hard it gets. And also putting in that effort as well. I think for me, those two things matter so much. And as long as I've got those things, as long as I've got those two things, as well as other things as well, having Jesus, having God by my side as well, I think is all I need to get to the next step and to become better. I've realised that most people in the world don't have it all figured out. And for the people that might look like they have it all figured out, it might look like they do, but I don't think there is anyone that has things figured out. And I think it's just one of those things that through life, that's just how we figure things out. Because we don't know what the outcome is going to be on most things. And obviously we can have confidence. For me, I have confidence on things, on how they're going to work out. but we don't know the exact thing. And I feel like the only thing that we can do is just continue doing the thing. Well, for me, I just try and continue to do the things that I'm already doing and try and keep and preserve the mindset that I've got and just have grit, have determination, and just try and get through and learn as much through the trials and tribulations and just figure things out as we go. And the more I think about it, if I was to have a roadmap on everything to do, it would really make things more overwhelming. If someone gave me a map on what my life was to look like, the difficulties I'll have to get through in order to get to the places where I want to be, not only if most of us were in that position, not only would I say it would make it very difficult, but I would say for some people, they wouldn't even take that journey just because it can seem so overwhelming, especially if there's 1,000 steps on what to do next. And I think going through life, doing what we're doing now, or for me, doing what I'm doing right now, is just taking one step at a time. I don't know the future that's in front of me. I'm only in the present and I know what's happened in the past. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but all that I can do is just live in the moment and do what's right in the moment. Even if in the future hindsight comes and it might come out saying that, or things might seem like they never worked out, but I was doing things in the moment, and I think that's what matters most. And for me, I try and think about that quite a lot. We might not have everything figured out, and I hope I'm explaining this right, but we might not have everything figured out, but I think as long as we are doing what's right for us, as long as we're just continuing on this journey of life, on our goals as well, on the journey of our goals and dreams, and just figuring one thing out at a time, which is something that I try and do. It's not easy. Like anything, it's not easy. It is very difficult still. But for me, by continuing to do this, then it will help me get to a better place. And it's more of a system. I think the system of life that we're in right now, where we don't know what's going to happen in the future, I think is actually the best place to be in. Because then we can focus all of our time. Well, for me, I try, although it's very difficult, but I try and focus all my energy and time on the present moment. Even though I do look back at the past and I compare myself to other people and all that stuff. But I think the position that all of us on this earth are in, where we don't know what's happening in the future, is actually a good thing, because then it gives us time to focus on the present moment. Planning, preparing, and also most importantly, putting in effort towards those things that we want to do. And I just want to make this very clear as well. It's never going to be easy, especially when we're doing something that's never really been done before. Maybe you've got a unique dream. I would say everyone has a unique dream, obviously. Maybe you've got a dream out there, a goal that not a lot of people know about, that like maybe it's a new invention, maybe it's a new thing that you want to do that the world's never seen before. And of course, the journey is going to be very different. It's going to be difficult as well. And I just see it as a video game. The more that we go through the trials, the tribulations, the failures, the more that we level up, the more that we know something about ourselves, about the goal, about the journey itself, than we never knew before. So constantly we're learning, we're evolving, we're adapting. And the journey is going to be difficult, especially if we're doing something that's never been done before, or especially when we're just doing something that is very different. Most people my age, they go to college, they're already having a family, well, some of them. They're already doing incredible things and great things. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes that makes me think, am I just behind in life? Sorry, that was my stutter there. Am I just behind in life? And Another part of me, another way I start to think as well, is that, well, I'm just on this unique journey. Everyone's on a unique journey, but I'm just doing what I want to do, just like these other people as well. And that comparison is actually truly the thief of joy. And doing something that's never been done before or that is a bit different is going to be hard. I don't want to say it's going to be harder. I mean, everyone's path, everyone's circumstances, everyone's journeys are different. They are very different. The difficulty, again, that's just comparison, isn't it? But yeah, I feel like it can be tough, obviously, seeing these people do well. There's someone in my family is that is doing well. They're married, they're doing this, they're doing that, and it looks like they've just got a solid life ahead of them. And I've talked to some people as well, but that can even make other people feel like they're falling behind in life. And I've said to people before, I said that everyone's journey is different. It's easy to compare, and even myself, this is not only a reminder for them or for you, but for me as well. It's such importance to me as well that everyone's journey is different. And what I think to myself as well is that there's going to be that kid that was once like me, comparing their journey to my journey. And I feel like that signifies so much importance in the sense that we can fill ourselves up not knowing the other person's journey themselves. It might look like they've had an easy life, it might look like they're doing things well, but like everything, the journey to get from point A to point B is very difficult. And I just try and remind myself of that every time I compare myself negatively as well to other people. I also think that maybe the reason why it feels so uncomfortable is because maybe it's supposed to feel like a clear path. But I'm sure me and you both know the reality of that and how that is false. There is no clear path to anything, I don't think. I mean, we can have a clear image, a clear understanding on what we want to do, but actually doing it is the hardest part. It's going through the terrain, it's going through the deserts, it's going through the mountaintops as well. It just gets tough and challenging. One thing that I've just been trying to do is to just focus on what's in front of me. As I've already mentioned earlier, is to just try and focus on what I have to do in this moment and just do it and take it from there. And that's what I mean when I say figure things out as we go. For me, I used to be that, and I still am actually. I can be that type of person where I try to think 10 steps ahead, which can be great for some things, but doing it for everything can be quite mentally draining, which is what I've realised for myself. And by just taking one step at a time, it takes all that weight off my shoulders, takes all that pressure, and I'm just able to focus on this one thing. And what I've also understood and realised as well is that by me focusing on this one thing that I'm doing in front of me, I'm actually putting more effort into the goal as well, just because I'm focusing on it that much. Or that thing, even, it doesn't have to be a goal. I'm just focusing on it that much to the point where I'm putting maybe more work than I would have just because I'm thinking of all these 10 steps. So there's also a benefit to what I'm doing, which is what I've realised as well. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but it still helps and it's continuing to help me. And it's just one of those things that, as I've said, the more we do it, the more we get better at it. I'm also trying to just understand it a bit more, understand myself more, the journey. And within 2026, I've learned a lot about myself. And maybe sometimes I can put myself in a way of thinking that is quite negative. And maybe that's kind of what I'm meaning right now when I'm saying that I've realised a lot of things about myself, more negative based, but or more areas for improvement. I think I can be quite harsh on myself. I think that's what it is. But I think it's just about trusting myself more, trusting the journey that I'm on, and just trusting my own thoughts, my own opinions, trusting my intuition, trusting my gut, trusting myself, trusting God, trusting the journey that I'm on, and again, just taking it from there. And it's not easy to trust the journey, to trust ourselves, even to trust God. It's not easy. It's very difficult. For me, it's very difficult just because I'm in this unique position. Well, I think I am, where I've gave up a lot of things around me. I'm doing things mostly alone. I'm about 80% times alone. And I don't want to make this a sub story. Like, I'm just saying how it is. And it's just mental. I've got all these different thoughts, all these different emotions coming in my mind. So it can be quite hard to focus on myself, to focus on the journey, or to even trust the journey, to trust myself, to trust God. And I try and keep myself close to all of those things as much as possible. And I'm also trying to take a step back as well, trying to take one step at a time, as I've said, and just trying to give myself a breather, just take a rest, take some time to just recoup, regenerate, and to then just get better. And I think for me, by doing that, it has brought clarity to me, understanding as well on what to do, instead of having again a list of just a million things, and it can just be overwhelming. But for me, just focusing on the most important thing, the main thing, and then just taking it from there. One thing that I've realised is, and I'm continuing to realise this as well, but I don't need a clear roadmap to be on the journey that I'm on. And that people that are at the similar place that I'm at right now, they also don't either. And I'm sure there's been many successful people that have been at the place that I'm at right now where they didn't have a clear roadmap. They know what they wanted to do, but they just didn't know how they were going to get there. And as I've said, I think just figuring things out as we go, for me, is the way. And I think just trusting ourselves, trusting God, trusting the journey as well. And that, yeah, I don't think I do need a clear roadmap. And I think the more that we continue to go on the journey, I wouldn't say it's going to be easy, but it's going to get easier, where things just, again, clarity comes, understanding comes. We get to understand our journey more. Maybe we start to see progress a little bit more. The ball seems to be rolling. And that just happens again through time. And I just keep reminding myself of that whenever I'm getting self-doubt or negative thoughts about my potential and all that. I just think to myself, well, one day it will happen. One day it will happen. And maybe that might not be the method for everyone. I'm sure it isn't. But for me, right now, in this moment, it is for me. So I hope that this video could help you in any type of way. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you could please like this video, subscribe down below, and if you know anyone that may benefit from watching this, then I would very much appreciate it if you could please share this video to them. Thank you so much, and I will see everyone in the next one.